So it looks like we are live on all of the live sites. So welcome everyone to Sex, Love, and Marriage. Looks like one of them. There we go. Okay. I always have to make sure that my technology is right because last week technology was, listen, woosah, steal from that one. But we are live, everyone. Welcome to Sex, Love, and Marriage. I am your favorite life coach and certified clinical sexologist and master sexologist, Coach K. Thank you for joining me tonight for another amazing and great fun episode of Sex, Love, and Marriage. So, for those who are not aware, and really quickly, I am going to do some sharing of this video, so bear with me while I get that shared out. And I encourage you to do the same. Why? Because if this can be beneficial to any the stream. And there we go. We're back. For some of you, we never left. So tonight's topic, we are talking about outgrowing marriage. And so when I put up the post for today, the question I asked was, I talked about just in general, if you just think about your life when you grow. So just think as a teenager, a preteen, when you were growing up, you kind of told your mom or dad, ouch, this hurts, or your joints were hurting. And sometimes they would explain to you that it's growing pains. Oh, look at my hair, it's all over the place. As you grow, you will feel some kind of discomfort. Well, when your body grows, you feel this discomfort, but you don't sit and look at your body and say, hey, stop growing because it hurts me or I don't like it. You just kind of maneuver through it. You put warm compresses on, cold compresses on, you massage yourself, you try to make yourself feel as best as possible, but you keep growing. So let's think about that growth, because growth is necessary to make the world go around. It's necessary in order to honestly live and survive. So it's something that's just necessary in life. Without growth, everything just stays null and void and eventually it dies off. So if we take that same philosophy of our body growing and we put it into the marital space, when we're growing in the marital space, it can really give a discomfort to one or both parties. And with that, usually someone will either lean into that discomfort or they retreat from that discomfort and says, I don't know what to do. I don't want to deal with it. This is not comfortable for me. And so they go back to a comfortable place. If that happens and someone retreats back to their comfortable place, but the other party is still deciding to move forward and leaning into that discomfort, what do you do? What do you do when you have one of the two parties that has decided, I'm going to lean into this discomfort and I'm going to accept growth and I'm going to keep going? And then you have the other party who says, this is too uncomfortable. I don't deal with discomfort well. I'm going to retreat and go back to this comfortable place for me. Well, that is when you can start feel like, well, I believe I'm outgrowing this marriage. Outgrowing or feeling as if you have outgrown a marriage does not equate to this marriage must end. Hey, thank you for joining me here on Instagram. And again, guys, definitely feel free to share, invite, and comment on these because, again, I'm not here to be right. I'm here to be heard and get conversations started. So it doesn't necessarily say, this marriage is over. I'm surpassing this other person. They just want to do things that we were doing, 5 years ago. And I am trying to progress in a way that builds our future. When you feel like you have outgrown the marriage, that is a time to truly reflect on you. If you're able to lean into this discomfort and you're able to power through and move forward, what is driving you to accept the discomfort and understand and acknowledge the growth that will come? The results that will come from the growth. How can you translate that to your partner in order to help them kind of maneuver that discomfort so that you don't feel like, oh, well, sorry for you, got to leave you behind? Because let's be all the way real. No one gets into a marriage to I'm growing and they've gone back to their comfort zone. So I'm just out. That would make me want to ask the question, well, why did you get started in this lane in the first place? Were you truly in a place of this is a marriage that I want? Or were you just excited about the wedding and you forgot that there's a whole growth period behind it? So it can become quite easy to feel as though you've grown out of a marriage and you may not have at all. Maybe it's fear. It could be true enough. Hey, I'm growing and you're not. But again, when you decided to take yourself and intertwine it with another person, that means that if this person does not feel as though they're strong enough to lean into this discomfort, I need to be there to support. Now, I'm going to say that while I am all for you supporting your partner, supporting your spouse in their growth process, I am not saying that you should halt yourself or continue to allow that person to pull you back so far that you give up on your growth journey because it's just too much for you to carry the load of two people alone. When I say support, it's truly to find out where they are, find out where their discomfort is, and try to offer what you can do as far as getting them to lean into their discomfort. I've said this on previous videos. We are all not, we weren't all raised in the same household. We don't all have the same background. I don't care if you've been married for 10, 15, 20, or even 25 years. There's still things that you may not know that your partner may have suppressed from childhood that really can trigger them to shut down, or they may not have ever learned how to lean into discomfort in order to get the results of growth that they would need or want to thrive in life. So being able to be a support, focusing on you while being a support to your partner is absolutely going to be vital for you not to feel like, oh, I just have to give this whole marriage up, because you don't have to. You truly don't have to. Hey, my husband just joined. Oh no, this thing just went out. I tried to keep this room going as long as possible, guys, and my technology is just not, it's really not doing the best for me. So we want to try to support our partner and lean into that discomfort. And yes, it is going to be difficult. It is going to be hard. You're trying to figure out how to, maneuver through this discomfort of growth for yourself. So how in the world are you going to support somebody else who may not even know how to lean into this discomfort? How are you going to carry that load of two people? Well, that's where you say, all right, it's a little bit too much for me, so maybe I need to get support for both of us. That's when you can reach out and maybe seek couples counseling or therapy, or even calling a coach such as myself, as I do work with couples, and kind of maneuvering through those difficult places. It is super important to understand that growth is necessary in every single relationship that you will ever be in, including and especially in your marriage. You do not want to be in the same place 5 years later from the date that you've gotten married. It will seem like, oh, you change. Yes, your partner will change. I want you to think about this analogy. Guys, y'all know I love these analogies. I want you to think about this. I always say to couples that I work with that the first 5 to 7 years of that marriage will be some of the most tough years that you will ever endure. You will go through plenty of things that you may not feel like you can actually get through. You may feel like throwing your hands up, saying, you know what, we're still early in, I am done. And why is that? Well, truly, take it all the way back. From the time that you were born until you were 5 years old, I want you to think about how many milestones you achieved in just a short 5-year span of your life. From the day that you came out of the womb until the day you walked into kindergarten, how many milestones did you accomplish in 5 years? How much growth did you have in a span of 5 years? Major growth. You learn to walk, you learn to talk, you learn to feed yourself, you learn how to interact with other people, you learn what was right and wrong. You may not have had the full concept, but you learn these things. You learn how to put your clothes on properly. You learn that you don't get naked in public. You learn a lot of boundaries and rules and regulations. And you learned a little bit about yourself, because we all know that one kid, as soon as you take the pamper off, they're exploring in the pamper. You learn so much from the time that you were born until you were 5 years old. So take that exact same thought process and put it into your marriage. From the day that you said, I do, the day that you took this new vow of commitment to this other person and to yourself, if you think 5 years forward, I want you to really think about how much you really grow, how much you learn, how much you put into it. And it's difficult. When a child is first learning how to walk, they fall, they cry, they get frustrated, they just say F it and they crawl again. They get frustrated, but they don't give up. If every crawling child gave up, guess what? We would have scratched up knees and we wouldn't need cars because we'd all be crawling around the world. So, why would we do the same and give up when we make a conscious and purposeful commitment of marriage? When we make that commitment of I do, we have to understand that we are two individual people who did not get raised in the same household, who were not in the same environment 24/7. We're two individual people that came together to form this new union, and we're going to go through growing pains. We're going to go through figuring out, why does he pick his damn teeth at the table? Why does he think it's okay to like another woman's picture on social media? Why does she feel it okay to go out and have her bare breasts with just a bra on to run to the car and come back in real quick? Well, those are actual growing and growth obstacles that you too need to discuss and understand. Hey, when I was younger, we were very liberated. We were free at home. We were outside all the time. It wasn't a big deal for us to be out. I didn't really even think about how it would make you feel. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Hey, boom, we just grew from something. Well, in my household, we did everything at the dinner table. It wasn't a big deal. Burp, farts, blah, blah, blah. That's just how we were raised. But I know that it bothers you now. So boom, we just grew from that. Something else we just learned. So before you feel like you've truly outgrown the marriage, look back, take a step back. And I'm changing what I said. Take a step back and look forward and see, what is it that gives you that feeling out of I've outgrown the marriage? Is it truly that the person that I'm with is stagnant? I've given support to them and seem like they want to go through or lean into that discomfort of the growing pains, and it's just really nothing else I can do? Or is it, I know that how I was raised was you got to be a go-getter, and maybe I need to be a support to my partner and help them to feel encouraged that they can grow, that they can be the person that they want to be, that they can achieve these things, and to not be afraid of growth. Because sometimes people who do not or does not lean into the discomfort of growth, sometimes it's not that they're being lazy. Sometimes they truly are fearful of achieving what growth may give them. And I want that to sink in, because many of us go through that. When you are afraid of what results growth will give you, what you actually can accomplish. And especially if you grew up in a household where you weren't encouraged to achieve things, you weren't told that you can absolutely be successful at whatever, whether it be just in marriage, whether it be raising the children, whether it be starting a new career, whether it be breaking an old habit. It could be anything. When we get to a certain age, we stop growing as far as, our clothes and our shoes. Once you get to a certain age, you don't really, quote unquote, you don't outgrow your shoes anymore. You have the same shoes, and the more you wear them, the more they get comfortable. You don't want to get rid of them, but eventually you do get another pair. Every once in a while you put on the old pair, but you know that you need to have this new pair to go out into the world with, because you want to present a better version of this outer layer of yourself. It's the same with the inside. Yes, it's very comfortable to go back into the way that we were, and to just stay stuck in our place, and to get stuck in that you know just having that shell and that wall around us. Very easy to do that. But every once in a while, I encourage you, peek out, you know, test the air, see what it feels like. You may not be super comfortable with it, but I challenge you, if you're the one that you feel stuck and you're watching your partner outgrow you, I encourage you to find a way to ask them for your support, for their support. Ask them for support. Ask them, how can you get on the same path as they are, where they seem to just grow and it's okay? Ask them, how did you lean into the discomfort of growth? Show me. That's what that marriage is about. It's about showing and growing, supporting each other, so you both can get to a place of achievement, both individually and together. Those things truly do matter. So while we absolutely can outgrow a marriage, I will say that not always is that the case. And even if we get to that place, that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, this thing is over, tear up the marriage license, we're done. It just means there's a little bit more work to do. So we are 22 minutes in. And of course, if you guys have any comments that you want to add to it, definitely feel free to do that. Again, I'm not here to be right. I'm just here to be heard and get that conversation started. Because I appreciate when you guys can, come in and rock with me. I really, really, really do. When it comes to my coaching practice, which is Love and Intimacy 101, I work with women, but I also work with couples. And I work with couples on that intimacy literacy, and growth, and working with each other to get to a place of togetherness, supporting each other, speaking to each other respectfully, because all of those things matter as we grow. Some people retreat to their comfort place because of how their partner talks to them, or some of the actions that they take, that if you don't tell them, quite frankly, how will they know to change that behavior? So I do welcome you on whatever platform you're watching me on, to make sure you do follow the page so that you're notified whenever I do go live. So I do go live every single Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am live on Clubhouse. I am live on Facebook. I am live on Instagram, and I am live on YouTube. You can find all of my pages if you go to @Coach K, COACHKAY 101. And also, if you head over to Amazon, you can actually get this relationship guide, which is the 5 characteristics of a stimulating relationship. And some of the things that I talked about are in this book. There are activities for you to do in that book with your partner to help you in growth. Ladies, if you feel like you are in a place of stuck, keep retreating back to that comfort place when you really want to lean into the discomfort of growth, I encourage you to go to ownyoursis.com. That is a 5-week program for you to grow and come into your confidence. And for everyone who is in Richmond, Virginia, or surrounding areas, if you're in a 4-hour driving distance to Richmond, Virginia, I encourage you to go to datenightrba.net, get you and your partner signed up as members so that you can start coming to the dates that we have going on. Dating is really a helpful tool when it comes to growing inside of your marriage. The types of dates that we have planned for you guys, it really will help you to see a different version of yourself as well as your partner. Every single date is strategically planned. You get 2 fully executed dates every month. We do weekly couples yoga, and we do a couple extra things that only members will know about. So head over to datenightrva.net to become a member now. We're only taking 15 couples because we like for things to be a little small and intimate to make sure that we're maximizing what we're given as tools. And so next week, next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be right back here. And our topic is codependency when it comes to marriage and relationships. This one is, I say that all the time, they're going to be good. I love all my topics. It's sex, love, and marriage. We get these conversations started. So next week, which is Tuesday, May the 10th, we are talking about codependent marriage and relationship. How much are you truly leaning on your partner and why? And we'll talk about the pros and cons of it, of course. I like to talk about all avenues of that. So definitely make sure that if you are watching a replay, #replay, tell me what you think. Share your thoughts with me. And definitely feel free to visit any of those websites that I named. And I am ready to meet everyone for Date Night RVA. I'm super excited about that. I will catch you guys back here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on next Tuesday. And for all my mommies out there, happy Mother's Day in advance. For all my masturbators out there, happy Masturbation Month of May. This is also Mental Health Awareness May. So if you are looking for a life coach or a certified sexuality coach, intimacy coach for yourself or for you and your partner, definitely feel free to reach out and get your session scheduled. All right, guys. And I don't know if you all noticed something new. If you noticed something new, put it in the comments. Let's see if you're right. All right. Y'all have a good night, and I will catch you back here next Tuesday night. Bye, everybody.